Hey, what's up? Adam Lobo here from Adam Lobo TV. Oh yes, the brand new MacBook Pro 2021 is finally here in Malaysia and I've gotten my hands on the 14-inch variant. So in this video, I'll be giving you my unboxing and the first impressions of this amazing laptop. So keep watching. Now starting from the unboxing, it was as usual pretty premium and also an Apple-like style where the box comes in white, where you'll find the visuals of the laptop in front. Then at the back you'll find the specs, the color finish and the variant that you've chosen over there. Opening the box, you'll immediately find the MacBook Pro, which is covered with the protective paper cover. Underneath, first you'll find the paper packet with the usual design by Apple in California on top, where in there's the startup guide, other paperwork, and a super sexy looking black Apple stickers. Nice. Next is the 96-watt USB-C power brick, and depending on where you're from, there's the additional plug to plug it accordingly. Then there is the return of the legend, the MagSafe cable. And firstly, I love how Apple decided to separate the cable from the power brick. And second of all, I love how the cables are nice, white and also braided to improve the overall longevity of the cable. So good job, Apple. Now starting from the design and build, my first impressions was how solid and thick the laptop was. Now this 14-inch variant weighs at 1.6 kilograms. Which was way lighter than the 16-inch version, which is at 2.1 kilograms. And I actually really love the approach that Apple went with this new Pro series, as the whole idea of having a thin and a light laptop is very much catered to the MacBook Air series, which I've done a review recently in case you haven't seen it, which I'll link it down below and also at the card above. Now the body is made of 100% recycled aluminium, and just by looking at the laptop's physical attributes, it clearly represents the true identity of a Pro device. And I have to say that I really love the rounded corners where the previous generation were a bit more sharper on the edges, and the overall form factor also reminded me of my previous 2013 MacBook Pro, and this is of course because of the return of the essential ports. Now as for the ports available, on the left you'll find the MagSafe 3 charging port, 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, where this Thunderbolt 4 ports has a maximum transfer speeds up to a massive 40 Gbps, and then there's also the headphones jack that supports high impedance headphones. So yes, expect a better quality audio output over here if you're using a higher impedance headphones. Then on the right there is the SD card slot, hallelujah, another Thunderbolt 4 port. Then there's also the full-size HDMI port, so hallelujah once again, and this would be great because now we don't have to live a dongle life. And very unique to this new generation MacBook Pros is the fact that you'll find the MacBook Pro text etched below the laptop, and the feet has been slightly elevated to give better thermals. So yes, this elevation of the feet for better thermals would be something that you would never know until when you have the laptop in your hands. Now opening the MacBook Pro, you'll find that the new keyboard has a black colored finish all around it, where there are bigger physical function keys now with the Touch ID button towards the right, and this is because Apple has decided to go away with the touch bar right on top. And coming from the 2017 MacBook Pro, yes, it was nice that the touch bar was there, but I did not find myself using it at all, maybe just a few times when I first got the laptop, and that's it. So yes, I feel that it was a wise decision from Apple to get rid of this, as I do prefer a bigger physical keys instead. And based on my first impressions, the typing experience on this scissor switch keyboard was great, and besides typing words and letters on the keyboard, since I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts on softwares like Final Cut Pro 10, I did find it very responsive, but we shall see how the keyboard performs in a longer day-to-day usage. Now this is because I'm planning to use this laptop as my main editing machine, especially when I edit my videos on the go using the trackpad instead of typically using the mouse. Where again, based on my first impressions, it was very responsive and very tactile indeed. Then at the sides of the keyboard, there are these speakers, where there are a total of 6 speaker sound system on the MacBook Pro with spatial audio support as well. And during my first impressions, I was really impressed by the bass that the speakers had. But stay tuned for my full audio test during my full video review, where I'll also do a microphone test since it does have 3 studio quality mics. And speaking of being on the go, I'll also revert back to you whether or not this bigger and thicker form factor does come in a way from typically moving from one place to another. And this whole idea of editing on the go was the main reason why I got this 14 inches instead of the 16-inch variant, so stay tuned for my full video review on that. Next, looking at the laptop's display, if you think that the physicality of the laptop has changed for the better, this new display on the MacBook Pro has elevated the laptop's experience even further by providing a world-class screen. Now, since this is a 14-inch variant, it comes with a total size of 14.2-inch Liquid Retina XDR display with a resolution of 3024 by 1964 pixels. So yes, you're looking at a display that is close to a 4K display, and it has a 16:10 aspect ratio. And the same mini LED technology display is what exactly you would see in the iPad Pro, and the HDR capabilities is also very reminiscent of the Apple's XDR display monitor as well, where there's up to 1600 nits of peak brightness of HDR content and a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio. Now, speaking of the screen experience, another huge thing that I noticed is of course the thinner bezels. Now, these thinner bezels are not only at the sides but also at the bottom where the MacBook Pro text used to be, and there's also the upgraded 1080p camera towards the middle of the screen, which for today's standard, finally, that is nice to know. Now, there is a huge debate on why Apple has decided to do with this whole notch without adding a Face ID, and here are my thoughts. Firstly, I humbly think that they might put that in the future, and second of all, I believe this whole notch look would be a way for people to instantly recognize the screen as a MacBook Pro screen, similar to what they've done with the iPhone, where everyone was making fun of the notch. And then eventually, there was a point of time where every other smartphone followed the exact notch. And if you look closely, there are some billboards here in Malaysia, not sure whether other countries are the same, where if they show an app, the notch cutout is exactly like how the iPhone was. So think about it. It's all about marketing, my friend. Now, what's extra sweet and unique is the fact that for the very first time, Apple has introduced its ProMotion refresh rate technology, which is a variable refresh rate. And compared to the iPad and the iPhone, there is an adjustment of changing the refresh rate accordingly in the display settings as well, which makes it so much easier for video content creators like me, or probably if you just want to save your laptop's battery by maintaining a lower refresh rate. Now, based on my first impressions, using the laptop for browsing, playing back video is exceptional whether or not I'm firing up a Final Cut Pro 10 project, or doing some photo editing on Adobe Photoshop, or watching movies on Netflix and YouTube videos as well. And like I said, this 14-inch variant was the perfect size for me to use the laptop to do all the things that I need to do on a professional video setting, but in an easy, movable situation. Now, in terms of the software, it comes shipped with the new macOS Monterey, and I just updated to version 12.0.1, where prior to this, I've gone through my experience with this new OS on my 2017 MacBook Pro. And as a heavy user of Final Cut Pro 10, Apple Keynotes and Numbers for all of my work spreadsheets, there are a lot of new features which I'm looking to test out further during my full video review once again. And of course, I'm super eager to test out all the real-time tests like the performance or the ProRes acceleration and the render speeds for files which has an 8K or even 12K resolution files from my Blackmagic cameras using the Apple ProRes codecs. Then as for battery, this 14-inch variant comes with 70 watt-hour battery, and during Apple's keynote, they have claimed a battery life up to 17 hours of video playback on this 14-inch model. And with the MagSafe 3.0 charger, you can charge from 0 to 50% charge in just 30 minutes. Which I'm looking to test out the battery further, so let's see how well that the battery holds up. Now, if you're wondering whether or not you can use a USB-C to a USB-C cable to charge a laptop, yes you can, but why should you? But one thing to note is that depending on the variant that you choose, it also comes with different charging brick that comes inside of the box, where if you were to go with the 16-inch variant, it will come with 140 watts USB-C power adapter And if you go with the 14-inch route like me, you'll get the 96-watt charger bundled inside of the box. Now, like how MacBook Pros has always been, there are a lot of choices of specs variant that you can go with, especially choosing on the chipset based on your usage. Whether or not you're going for the M1 Pro or the M1 Max, depending on your budget as well. As for me, I've chosen to max out the specs to really future-proof my content creation journey, and while I do love a bigger screen, as I had portability in mind, where I could always use my external display when I'm in the studio if I wanted that bigger screen experience. And if you'd like for me to give you a recommendation on the specs that you should go for, do let me know at the comment section below, and I'll revert back over there during my full video review of this new MacBook Pro. So as I said in the beginning of this video, this new MacBook Pro is finally available here in Malaysia to order, and I'll leave links down below for you to get yourself one. Aside from that, if you did enjoy my first impressions and the unboxing video, a nice big thumbs up would be very much appreciated, and do subscribe to Adam Lobo TV if you haven't done so, as I'm looking to really test out this laptop further to really help you make a purchase decision. My name is Adam Lobo, and I'll see you in my next video.